Yes, yes, I'm making some noise. Yes. Okay, here we're live again. I'm just tweaking around. So I need to add a delay flange. This is just keep this one flange. Flange guitar. Flanger. And the flanger inside a Prisma is tempo-based. And yes, I have another cold. I catch runner. It's autumn. And that, yeah, it's always... I'm always having bad luck on that subject. I'm very healthy only in the winter, and in the autumn I'm always getting a cold. Maybe it's because of my lack of hair, and then I go outside, I forget my cap, and then I get a cold on my head. Yeah, it's happened. So it's not that bad, but yeah, it's the time of the season, isn't it? So looking here at layer 1, layer 2, FX1 cent. FX1 cent will be then using the stereo delay. So I give it a little bit of amount control. Because this is a crazy one, isn't it? So let's see the volume. F3, so. Weird sound. Save preset. I'm gonna save this one because next week it's the planning to release Prisma with the option to load PowerChord. Wild flange power. That's how I call this one. Save. I save it. I go to the manager, set category. Yeah, acoustic instrument. It's not really acoustic. Yeah, it's so there's no other category. It's not a synth sound. It's so wild flange power. And that's the cool thing. In this case, I only use 2 power chords, and in the new sounds that will be bank 9 power chord stacks 1, and down below it is the RG stacks. Of course, you also could stack with RG, but of course RG has of course with chords, and so rhythm guitar and steel string guitar, and of course the power chord from RG is also inside the power chord itself. So essentially you have then you only need to use power chord if you want to stack it, and for the power chord sound. So yes, I hope that Tom Aldrich is okay, because they had a terrible hurricane over there, and I think Tom Aldrich is a little bit in this area. Tom did send last week a very nice demo with PowerChord, and I played it at the end of the live stream, but you also can find it on the home page. If you go to the top section, I think it's in the extra section, or anyhow in the artist part, you can TA demos. And maybe I play it at the end of the live stream again. And the link is also in the description below. There you can find a link to all the great Tom Aldrich demos. So I started with Prisma today stacking. We still have the weird bug, stereo delay, with if you change the preset and you have already something addressed, that it makes parameters jump in the plugin. We still are finding out how we can solve this. It's a very old bug. Most people will not notice because, yeah, they use the current, they use the presets and filter around. But if you create your own presets, the best thing to do is first stack the sounds, and then add the multi-control page. So let me save this one because I was forgotten to add Yeah, the other news is, by the way, that also for the people who are using the NKS system, we created the NKS files. We soon will send them into Native Instruments for checking up, and then we also could release PowerChord as an NKS instrument. It will have not the introduction bank, because the introduction bank has presets which are also in the other banks. Okay, so let's talk about other sounds which are inside of it, because if you will go to the classic stacks, I think we added there also. So if we go to presets, order by date, Pret plug pad, and that's one of the presets which is downloadable from one of the live streams some weeks ago, which is a very nice sound, which is Predator 3 combined with a Blue 3. So nice sound, isn't it? Very spacey. You also could play Bach with it. Robo, yeah, why is Bit 2 so underrated? I think the ones who play with Bit 2 are rated very high, but I think it's down to the marketing. We are pretty late with creating a focused virtual analog machine, and which has it only to essentially the analog concept. And I would never make a recreation of a Minimoog or a Jupiter 8. That's done trillion times, and I would find that very boring. And also, I would like to have some new stuff inside of it, which we did in Bit 2. So it's very far in terms of the additional features it has. I think we used it also in one of the newer presets. Oh, this one uses the Go to X. There's also a new preset using Albano 3 and the Go to X combined. And then you get some interesting sounds. May Visit 2024. I don't know how I get to this name. That one uses Blue 3, Predator 3, and Go to X. Aha! Blue 3 is doing a wave sequence. Cool sound, isn't it? And you see how analog, how nice the high end is of a Predator 3 Go to X and Blue 3. Really sparking. So let me see if I think there is some X-bit sequence. Maybe that's also a new one using Bit 2. Yeah, Bit 2 to go with Go to X. And if you go to the next preset, you always see here a little pop-up, because then it needs to load, because Prisma essentially is a music host, just like Cubase or Ableton or Bitwig, whatever, or Logic. Prisma is a host, so you load into the Prisma a plugin. So if I go to the next preset, not sure what it is. I think that was the one already. Okay. Oh, I might find a bug. Haha, because this is the new loading. Please wait, but doesn't update the okay. That's a weird one. So if you open, it opens the Go2X. You see it? And Rob Oyak, I hope I pronounce your chat name correctly, ask about drawing waveforms. Yeah, essentially here in in Go2X, you can draw them by line. So draw your own ones using partials. Even load from a sample and try that one. We had last week a whole story about Predator 3 and how to create the waveforms. And with Predator 3, you can have one oscillator. You can have per preset 8 different waveforms. So we were discussing it inside here, where you have the user wave. You can select one user wave or a wave set. And wave set, you can set the range from 1 to 8. And then you can go from this 1 to 8 in the oscillator. So, and user waves here, you can load them, you can curate them yourself, also analyze a sample. And we did that last week, and I did this unprepared because it was some time ago that I did this wave editing. And a bit later in the video, in the live stream, you notice, okay, it worked like this. So just like you, I had to rediscover again Predator 3 on this subject. And finally, we took a basic sample and took from there a waveform and some other tips. The waves, the live stream is a little bit long maybe for you, but then pick from the timestamp the part where I make a kind of recap of everything. So wave draw can be done in Predator 3 and even in Go2X. So that's a wavetable editor inside of it. If you but maybe you mean more that you can create wavetables for anything, so that you can save a waveform. I think in Predator you anyhow can save a wave. So if you think, but I'm not sure if this format can be loaded into other synths. Well, it could be, but so in Prisma, bit 2 sequence me. Yeah, here are some of the newer presets with and bit 2 it's and uses the sequencer of bit 2. And one of the cool things, if we talk about bit 2, is simply the fact that it has some very inspirational new features which go beyond the classic virtual analog machines. We have the ribbon controller. So if you go to let me see if I can pick one of the pad sounds. So let me go to the super pads. 1 second. Bit 2 super pads. Here we go. Oh, this sounds like a nice stacked Jupiter. So if I go solo and pick the first one, very mellow pad, here it is. And this is the things what we do, like the ribbon controller, which goes back MIDI tempo based to the center position. You see here's the spring back, which is half a bar. We have inside each oscillator, we have its own LFO, its own envelope. We have this little trick where you have even phase modulation or ring modulation. You can shut off the oscillator from going into the filter. So there is a very different concept. It's inspired on many cool classic synthesizers, but in my opinion, we live in 2024 now, or at least in this age where we have a lot of features. We are not limited down by electronic components, so we can add also future products in the instrument. So why not do this in virtual analog? So that's my concept. Most likely it would be more popular if it maybe would be Rob Papen bringing out a Jupiter 8, virtual Jupiter 8, which is done. For me, it would be boring because originally a Jupiter 8 doesn't have any delay, doesn't have any chorus, doesn't have any velocity, and it's behind me. Here's a Jupiter 8 behind me. I have one already from 1983. So so that's the reason, or that's maybe not, I think the one people who know it rate it very high, but it's maybe not as popular because, yeah, it's very late on the market. There are plenty other brands who did their virtual analog story. And so Bit 2 is a bit later on the market, but I love it and many others love it. I think it's a fantastic sounding machine, and many things of the code we use in Bit we also later on used in our other plugins like Predator 3 and in Go2X. So this typical magic of the analog machines are pretty much also now in the newer machines. Yeah, I mean, it's fantastic. And so, I mean, there's no excuse these days. If you think I need a Jupiter 8 for making great music, that's the biggest nonsense ever. Maybe pronounced by somebody or claimed by somebody that you need to have this. No, it's the musician behind it and the sounds, they are available today. And it's all about you using them. Okay. Oh, the tuned noise. Yeah, that's a nice, interesting feature, the Bit 2 tuned noise. So here in the Prisma, which you always is for free if you have at least one product. Of course, it doesn't load the FX because it has the built-in FX. But if you have, for instance, only Go2X or only Bit 2 or only Predator, you still can use it. There are many presets which combine several instruments together, but it will ignore then instruments which you don't own. But for here you can see, excuse me, it has this fantastic, and I click up here, the fantastic sound from Bit 2. Very nice pad. So maybe it's even more. Noise joint pad. Okay, now I'm curious what it was. Oh, that's 3 layers, so it's also a nice noisy sound to combine with. More a hybrid digital sound, and below it, pad sound. And these 3 type of sounds combined, and that makes Prisma great. So yeah. So that's a little bit about the story behind. So Prisma, we plan to have this available next week, and I'm currently stacking some power chords together because it's nice to have two power chords playing at once. So if I have a rock beat, I have at least then now 4 guitar plays, because that's 4 guitarists, because I have the first preset has 2 guitars, left, right, and the other one also 2 guitars. Yeah, cool, isn't it? Okay, I'm checking the chat room. If you have any questions, just let me know. Stephen, yeah, you can keep it on your older computer, sure. I mean, once a bundle is activated, it keeps on playing. So don't worry, as long as it's your own computer, never a problem to keep it running on your computer. So even if you activate a new one, there's never a direct connection. So if you have my products, I see this activation code, and we even have an online activation code. But no, that's not a problem at all, Stephen. You can keep the Explorer 9 also on your older PC. No problem at all. Yeah, I'm definitely a rocker. Not really, but you see, with PowerChord, I can be. So the guitar never was my thing. I'm more a keyboard player. And that makes me jealous, because all the guitar players jump easily over to piano. But the other way, at least for me, it's very hard. You hear? That one and that one. To really have a combination. Yeah, cool, isn't it? And of course, we have the 4. PowerChord remains PowerChord also inside Prisma. Of course, if you have playing the first octave, you have a trigger sequence A. If you play in the second octave, it plays sequence B. Sequence C. And the weird thing, what you can do now, for instance, if you're working with Prisma, you can change the sequences how you want. So, for instance, I could do sequence D. I could say I opened now one of the layers. I'm not sure which one I have, but what I can do down here is say, okay, play this half speed. So I'll go here, half speed for D. Cool, eh? You really got some different. So I keep this one. I like that. So only C plays from one layer, the half speed. And also the retrigger I can put off, retrigger off. Then I can change the other nodes without the that it goes to this first step again. So if you are new to PowerChord, watch the video in the playlist PowerChord about the tips. The second video is about using PowerChord with some tips. Cool. Okay, so I need, and that's the cool thing. I changed PowerChord. Both of them I just changed, and if I save this preset in Prisma, it also memorizes the changes I did to the PowerChord. Of course, the presets are not stored in PowerChord, so if you then I think the presets which you are using in Prisma are like also to use outside Prisma from PowerChord. You need to save it inside PowerChord, but Prisma saves all the changes you do to the plugins you loaded. So I'm gonna override it again. Yes. Hey Rob, are we at the end of products for, yeah, the Explorer 9 is ready. So we are in for the Explorer 10 at a given date. But this takes a while before we are having this ready, because it will have 2 new plugins, as at least one update and one new plugin. So that's going to be Explorer 10. And then what is also excuse me, what is also planned for Explorer 10 is a different size of RG. RG is a pretty old product, but it's still very popular, and people miss the different user interface sizes. So it will be a free update for every RG users, but we will have then different user interface sizes, and that makes it, of course, then easier in the modern computer monitors to be used. So that's also planned, and yeah, and we have then, once released, we have some, the Explorer 10 will have, at least at the start, already some cool products. And of course, maybe you already noticed, now the Explorer 9, compared to the Explorer 8, has 4 products. So it had the Go2X, Albino 3 Legend, Unimagic, and PowerChord. 4 new products are inside the Explorer 9 compared to the previous version, Explorer 8. So if you're on Explorer 8, it still makes sense to upgrade, because for $74 you get a load of cool stuff. Now you can combine PowerChord with RG. Yeah, only RG has, of course, the same PowerChord sound, which is also in PowerChord. So if you go to PowerChord and you open PowerChord, you see you have the bank manager, and you see we have the RG grooves. They are inside of it. So RG had also one PowerChord sound. This is the back panel. So if you go here to the models, the solo guitars are grunge type. There are power chords with drop D, lower string, even a drop A. And then you see down here, solo RG power chord. This is the original RG one. So if maybe the preset of the RG of the power chord may be a little bit different compared to the PowerChord, because we use a little bit different algorithms here. But so if you think, okay, I like to use the PowerChord from RG together with PowerChord, you better take twice PowerChord. That should be giving you even more options. So, but of course, you could also say, I want to combine. So if you go to a new preset, steel. Okay, I need to type it, of course. Steel and PowerChord. So here I could pick RG. Hello, RG. Pick one of the steel string grooves. Only the point is, you have then the first octave major, second octave minor, and then sequence B in the third and fourth octave. So that you need to keep in mind. So if I could, let's say if I take this one, you see the user interface is very small. So that's what we need to change. So let me put off here the stereo delay off. I keep this preset. So, and then I pick PowerChord. And there I could pick one. So I go to the, doesn't matter. So, and then I need to check. But you see the tempo is pretty low with this one. So that's really weird. Or like that. So I put away. So I take the steel string guitar, that's this sound. Only why is it? Okay. Okay. So it's a weird combination, but keep in mind, the PowerChord is a fifth tuning, so it doesn't matter if it's major or minor, it always will suit. If you play then RG in the first octave, you have major. And if you play in the second octave, you have the minor. So I would play the second octave and push this preset, or the fourth, which is also a minor. So I would delay stereo power chord. No, maybe the filter power chord. Let's see if that can do some cool things to it. It's layer 2. I pick the cutoff frequency. I'll make it down. That's nice. So I'm making now a preset with RG and PowerChord. RG, I'm looking, also has a filter, but it's just the Evolve one. Yeah, that could be interesting. Filter RG. I put on the second fader the filter RG, layer 1, filter frequency. Okay, let me play it solo. Yeah, it changes the sound, so that's good. So now I do the stereo delay, so PowerChord. I don't think that will fit, so stereo delay PC. Well, I mean, of course, the PowerChord. So I go to layer 2, which is the PowerChord, and I pick the FX send. Then the FX send, essentially, that's down here. I go to the FX of Prisma, I pick here the stereo delay, and it's set up like a classic mixer. So if you have a FX stand on your mixer board, so layer 2 is for the guitar only. Layer 2 FX1 stand. So if I open this one, it adds delay to the power chord. And balance, that's also what you can do, balance between the guitars. You could say go a layer 1. I should call it pan, of course, because you have the pan control, layer 1, and layer 2, you also have the pan control. So it's like a real mixer. So I could say pan down the one guitar to a bit more to the, I even go wild, going, let's say 50%, and that one 50%. Okay, let's see what happens. Yeah, it's nice. I think I'll keep this one. So, but keep in mind with RG, if you play in the first octave, it triggers sequence A, which you can see here, sequence A, and which is major. If you play in the second octave with RG, so down here you have a keyboard, it's the minor. And then if you go the third octave, it's again major, the fourth again minor. So that's the concept. But I think I saved this one, steel and power chord. Maybe save preset, or maybe I should make this one set category also. Yeah, that's cool. And then save preset. Steel and power chord. Yeah, replace it. Excuse me. So yeah, there we go. Nice, isn't it? PowerChord is brand new. Yeah, we released it a few weeks ago. It's really a unique product. Check out Rob. On my playlist you have PowerChord. Then you see the introduction video, and has many models. And it's really the focus on PowerChord. And it has a very great sequencer. But you also can play it manually. So if you think I like to play the groove my own, you can also set it to manually. So let me open PowerChord. Here we have it. So it has a very sophisticated sequencer. You can have 4 sequences. Each octave triggers 1 sequence. And of course you have notes C until B. So that covers all the notes you need in the first octave. Second octave, sequence B. Third octave, sequence C. Fourth octave, sequence D. But if you think, I don't want to have the sequence, although you can change the sequence if you want. And you also can change the retrigger. So if you say, I want to have that it doesn't retrigger. If you play legato, then it goes continuous in these steps. So but we have then manual play. So you also can do it manual, and these are the ghost notes, are the third. Yeah, pretty rocking. And the cool thing with the bando we have, the bando we have in PowerChord can go far deeper or higher than any guitar. So a pitch bend, watch this. Okay, let me take a longer note. Woohoo! Well, this is an extreme range of 48, which is 4 octaves. But 12 is maybe a bit more realistic, although I think it will hurt your guitar if you bend a 1 octave or with a guitar. Oh. Okay, let's see the chat room. Don't rockers also use vocoders on the guitar? Not vocoders. This is a tube they put in the mouse. It also has a I don't recall the name. Sorry for that. It's also but you can have it a little bit with the wah-wah inside the PowerChord. There are some different presets on that subject. I'm not sure if I can find it fast for you, but let me see, maybe. Oh. Talkbox, yeah, that's it indeed. That's what you get like this. These things, and we use an LFO for it and a different affix. Sorry, I have a cold again. That's when you live in the Netherlands, you always get a cold because we have a lot of rain. Yeah, RG. Well, somebody mentioned RG. If we can make a kind of RG2 in the future, the problem with RG is people ask for more chords. But if you analyze the amount of chords which are possible, I think over 20, if you take all the possible chords, sus2, sus4, diminish. And then I don't even talk about the position where the guitar is playing. Is he playing lower or higher on the guitar? So the RG originally has a kind of compromise, indeed, by major and minor 7. And essentially, if you go to what was the inspiration for RG, I would say the disco 80s by Nile Rodgers, or the Shaft theme, these type of sounds, and they very often with this dance music, it's not jazzy in many kinds, and it's more the concept of a groove machine, because if you want to have all the chords inside of it, it's uncontrollable. How do you want to play it? It's way too complicated to get that working. So it's more a groove machine, which is cool for a house or maybe a short production for a game or commercial. And I heard RG regularly back, by the way. So it's out for many years already, but still very popular. So if I go to the RG stacks here, yeah, there are some wild sounds by Jamal. So yeah, you're limited by it, but what I also did I think in a live stream, or maybe is it a video, is that, yeah, if this is the groove, and suddenly you need a diminish, why not let the guitar stop playing, pick another instrument, and then continue the guitar? So then it's also making your track more interesting. So instead of having the RG playing from beginning to the start with all the chords, make it play on given times. But in general, the whole concept is, of course, as a groove machine. There are, of course, sounds which are not limited to major and minor, or with the electric guitar, with the how you say that, the rhythm guitar. For minor 7 it is, rhythm guitar, are the muted sounds. So the muted sounds, let's see. Maybe I can find them solo. Well, let's play solo. Here's one. So a little muted guitar. So yeah, that's the reason. It's a different concept. And if you are creating music with a lot of chord changes, fusion music, jazz, whatever, songs which have a complex build-up, I would say hire a real guitar player. Then you are much faster having the track ready than if you would have an RG where you need to program all the chords. That's why we don't do it. All the chords which are available with the position. Yeah, that would be a mission impossible. I mean, if you have maybe only 8 basic chords, where you have to put them. So, and then you need to play them also while in the song. So that's the reason we kept it basic and as a groove machine. So, but what we will do anyhow with RG is planned for next year different user interface sizes. So there will no auto changes be to RG, but you will have a free update if you own RG with different user interface sizes, so that you can use it also on the more modern monitors. Because yeah, as you can see, if I open it here, it's on my screen very small, because I have a wide screen, 3300 something versus 1400, which I can advise to anybody who's creating music to have a wide screen instead of a 4K. Pick a wide screen, 3300 versus 1400. Absolutely fantastic to work and create music. So you see, it's very small. So that's something we need to improve. Okay, and that's planned for next year. Okay, so this about Prisma. It will be out next week. We catch up then again next week. Let me check if I did not miss any of the questions in the chat room. Give me a second, guys. Maybe I missed something. Yeah, always great to hear that you enjoy the plugins. Yeah, and I'm enjoying them too, and that's my reference. If I don't enjoy it, I'm pretty sure many other people will not enjoy it. So and my reference is always music creation, and sometimes also going outside of the box. Anyhow, thanks for watching. So the latest news is that we work on the NKS version of RG, and Prisma hopefully will be out next week for you. We keep you posted in the newsletter, of course, so join the newsletter. And of course, you always can watch the live stream back. Give it a thumbs up, and yeah, I'll see you next week. And let's go out again with this very nice demo that Tom Aldrich made last week, which is also in the Tom Aldrich homepage section, where you can find many of his cool demos by using many of our cool plugins. And in this case, he used the PowerChord. So enjoy it, and see you next time. So we're gonna out rocking the live stream.